So he brought me one from here. My family is not, they're not rich. My family were not, we couldn't afford a computer, that's for sure, at that time. So he took the effort to bring a computer to my place so I could communicate with him. I could still do, college. And that's how I started learning more about Islam. So then he brought me books. And at this time, I learned about Islam, but I also wanted to study my own religion because I didn't want to commit to something that I was not knowledgeable enough, and also because I didn't know enough about my own religion. I just knew what they tell you in church. So I started going to church, listening to the sermons, and reading the Bible. Then I learned there's a difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament, and that difference is Jesus. That's everything changes after Jesus is crucified. And then I discovered that the Old Testament is actually almost the same as the Quran. They have the same characters, the same history and stories. So I found that very peculiar, and that made it the transition for me to believe on what Islam, the basis of Islam, was easier because of that. So of course, when I started going to church more often, my mom was so pleased. And another thing that she liked is that Muslims do not drink, right? So if my husband will take me out, she knows we were not going to drink. Because in my country, there's no party if there's no drinking. So that's, it can be a child's birthday party, but you're gonna find alcohol in that party. So that's something that they loved, that there was no drinking when we go out. Of course, no drugs, things like that. So they feel pretty secure, having me to go with him. So when I convert, I think I got my husband out of, I caught him by surprise. Because what I told him, I said, I have learned about Islam, I have read, I have compared, and I even talked to the priest in my church. I asked questions that he could not answer, that Quran answer. So I think I want to be a Muslim. And he said, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I want to be a Muslim. We were already 6 months into a relationship. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. And so I said, I do really like it. I do really enjoy the straight, the religion is so straightforward. There's no around, it tells you, you do this, you don't do this, and that's it. And the Catholicism is not like that. You just, they never answer you the questions. You just stay okay. So what is the reason for kneeling in the church? Oh, you just have to kneel. That's the way it is. You don't have to ask. And in Islam, they will explain to you why you don't drink, why you have to cover, why you have to, not eat pork, right? So that's what I liked. So when I decided, I told him, and he's like, okay. So my first shahada was with him, just me and him. I became Muslim, just like that. And after that, we decided that we were going to get engaged. And he was very afraid because his family didn't know completely that I had become Muslim. And he's from Bangladesh, and they're very traditional Muslims. So, and particularly in his family, my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they have been arranged marriage. So they were expecting him to be an arranged marriage too. At that time, his dad was very, very sick. He was already in the, time of passing away. And so he said, I don't want to tell nothing to anybody. I want to wait. because I don't want to bring something else to the plate. You know, everybody's dealing with my dad's disease and the fact that he's gonna pass any time. So I said, okay. He went to see his parents before his dad passed away, and I was so scared because I know how important a promise is in Islam. When you promise something, you have to do it, otherwise it stays there like you didn't do it. So I was so afraid that his dad will make him promise that he will marry somebody from there. I never had those rushes, nervous rushes, but during that trip, those 2 weeks that he was there, I break in rushes because I was so afraid. His dad was in deathbed, you know, and knowing him, I know he was not going to break a promise like that. So I was just praying that please just don't ask him something like that. So alhamdulillah, he came back and everything was good. He didn't have to promise anything. So after that, we decided to arrange the wedding, and his mom didn't know. His family didn't know, because he knew that he will tell them. It will complicate more the situation. So we just decided to get married in Mexico. We found a mosque in Mexico City. That was 1999 when we found the mosque, and we got married in 2000. We got married in June 2000, and I got pregnant right away. So our plans were getting married, move to the U.S., go to school, and then have babies. But then we got married, get pregnant. I had to stay in Mexico for my whole pregnancy because my brother would not allow me to come here. I don't know anybody. This is a different country. They were not pleased by the fact that I was stepping my foot down to come here with him and marry him. So they said, okay, at least you have to stay for the pregnancy, and then we'll see what you're gonna do. They were still planning on convincing me not to come here. So my marriage was an Islamic marriage, but for my family didn't count. For my family, I was not married because it was not a Catholic marriage. Yeah, and my mom being the only girl, me being the only girl, she expected the white dress and the entrance in the church and all the family and, you know, everything going on, the party. There's a protocol to follow for weddings, right? You go to church, you get married, then everybody goes to the party, and then the couple enters and everybody claps, and that's the way. Our wedding was so different because we had a ceremony before the party, but it wasn't in the church, so people were just to come directly to the place. So then, you know, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know when to clap or when to laugh or what to do. Do we eat? What do we do? So it was very funny. First of all, when I decided to become Muslim, everybody thought he brainwashed her. He just told her that she's going to have a wonderful life over there, and that's why he's marrying her. She's marrying him. Everybody mentioned that movie to me, and that's why I mentioned it, because there was no person that when I told them we were going to get married and that I had become Muslim, there was no person that didn't mention that movie to me. Don't you know that can happen to you? How you know who is he back there? What do you know if he's telling the truth? What if he has 3 wives and you're the 4th one? Why did he beats you and keeps you in the house and never lets you out? So all of these things will come. My cousins, we're a very close, knit close family. And everybody was scared. my parents, my mom and my older brother, offer me, and I'm ashamed to say this, but this is how much they wanted me to stay. I was pregnant with my baby, and they offered me, he said, okay, listen, we will help you. We will help you with college, we will help you with the baby, just don't leave. I said, but I'm married.